Welcome to another Fear Street review.
Today, we're reviewing Dachra, which hits cinemas on July 9th.
Knowing us, there's going to be at least a couple of spoilers. So if you don't want spoilers, you want to leave this situation right now. If you're here for the spoilers, then stay and have a good time.
There you go. Dachra is inspired by true events. Sent off with a documentary video assignment, three journalism students decide to interview Mongia, seeking new clues about the cold case. Intrigued and perturbed by the deranged woman's story, the trio takes their cameras to the scene of the crime, deep in the woods, led by a headstrong young investigator, Yasmin.
Yay. This was another movie that wouldn't be possible if men listened to women. So I appreciate that with everything else that's going on. I just have to get that out there immediately.
Yeah. I will say that the characters were all really well developed. They were specific. I knew who each of them were, especially our main three. But I didn't like really any of them besides the main character and her grandfather. But maybe that was the point.
They wouldn't listen to her, and it's hard to like men who don't listen, as I found out. um I also felt all these characters, like even the ones I meet along the way, were just enough so where I knew who to trust, who not to trust, who I had an idea about. And the performances were also pretty phenomenal in these roles. Yeah.
I'll agree with that. For me, the pacing was a little bit slow at times, where I would catch myself checking out of the film and then being really confused and trying to figure out what the hell is going on when I got back into it. So it was the pacing was a little bit of an issue for me.
I was fine with the pacing, because there were so many super scary moments woven throughout this like really bleak what the fuck is happening storyline. And so I felt like even in the scenes that felt like they were slower than the others, I was getting new information to be like, what's happening? It felt akin to like playing the Silent Hill video games, the good ones. So you're getting things and you're inching along and you're like, I'm not sure what this picture is yet until you need to know, and then it's possibly too late. Um,
I will
yeah.
say when it was creepy, it was effectively creepy. Don't get me wrong. This film is very, very scary.
It
Very
is.
creepy.
It is. And I feel like possibly what might have helped the pacing issue is that it does feel like two movies, even though it's the same goal. It feels like there's two movies because of everything leading up to them getting there. And then there's them being there. And the them being there part feels a little bit like the Blair Witch, and everything before that feels like different horror movies, that I also love. And so the marrying of those two, I think, might be part of the pacing issue you're seeing.
Yeah, I also feel like I felt like we could have shaved 15 to 20 minutes off, especially either in one of those. I think you're right. It does feel like two different films. And I feel like, or maybe there's 15, 20 minutes in them combined. But I feel like if you wanted them being there to be your third act and be where all the shit's going down, then it needs to be shorter than what it was. Or if you want the beginning part to be more of your prologue, then that needs to be shorter than what it was. It just felt like a lot in both places, and I never got a full idea of this is the movie I'm watching.
It was very much of a slow burn. It felt like a throwback to those like older movies that were just like 2 hours, and mostly Stephen King's. And you're just like steeped in this world and this environment and these characters and the why for and how they got here and established those relationships. And then you switch into and now we're on our adventure. It felt very much that. And I don't typically like those, but I was not bothered by this one. Again, I think because so much creepiness was happening as we went. So it was the monsters we met along the way that made it okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do want to point out this. Most of my critiques is not about like shading the filmmakers. I think the info we got that made this film was like $80,000 or something like that,
Yeah.
and it's like the little engine that could. It feels like
Yeah.
as a film. So kudos on that.
Yeah. And it's a Tunisian. I am not
She's been drinking, y'all.
always. Um, is it let me go look at the word.
Tanzanian?
Thank you. Thank you. I could not say Tanzanian right now, and for some reason. And we don't get a lot of horror from that region, at least not in America. and they were talking about how this is one of the first to make it into like Fright Fest and things because it's been around for at least a year or two, and it's just now having its like debut in theaters, which is why it was hard to track down what year it actually was made for me.
Right. Yeah, I told people I was watching it. They're like, "Oh yeah, that film," and I was like, "I thought it was new." Oh, well, okay, great, awesome. I'm glad
Right?
that it's finally getting eyeballs. But yeah, so Sheree, is it a yay or a nay?
It's a yay for me. I'll be revisiting this dark friend often.
And y'all know how I feel about darkness. It's a nay for me. I will say again, no shade to the filmmakers or the performers or anything. It's a well done film. It's just not my cup of tea. I don't, I'm not one to love the bleakness and there's no hope and we're all gonna die. But that's Sheree's cup of tea. So
And my cup runneth over in this movie. I was so
dude,
happy.
y'all. Whew.
I can't I can't wait for people to see it and talk about it because I want to talk about it. Yeah. Anywho's, special thanks to our friends at Deck Analog for the screener. If I'm saying that wrong, please correct me immediately because I hope that we'll see more stuff from you.
Yes, put it in the comments, and then next time we get a film, we'll make it right.
We'll get it right.
Yes, and as always, hit us up in the comments and let us know. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you agree with me? Do you agree with Sheree? Do you disagree with both of us? Who knows? Maybe there's that
Listen,
take.
go rogue, go big.
Right? We're here for it all. And make sure you stay fierce out there.
Bye.